I know your scoring numbers have been down a little bit in the postseason. Do you attribute that to maybe just being banged up, some injuries, and how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, my production offensively probably dropped a little bit. By the end of the day, that my production defensively hasn't dropped at all. So, if it ain't going offensively, that don't mean that I'm gonna stop hooping. I'm gonna help my team out however I can. That's defensively, offensively. I gotta be the water boy. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win.
En español, Chad, ¿qué esperar de este Final Four para la Universidad de Auburn, especialmente en el primer partido contra la Universidad de Florida, que parece que viene cerrando en su mejor momento?
Obviamente nosotros tratamos de salir por la puerta grande, pero hay que mantenerse enfocado en lo que en el plan de los coaches. Y obviamente ellos nos ganaron el primer juego en la casa y todavía tenemos eso en la cabeza y siento que ahora estamos aún más enfocados y más listos para venir a jugar contra Florida.
Tú de manera personal, ¿cómo llegas físicamente, mentalmente a este Final Four después de todo lo que tuviste que atravesar para llegar a este año senior con Auburn?
Yo trato de que cada ronda es una temporada diferente para mí. O sea, el Sweet 16 y el Elite fue una ronda diferente, esas son mis temporadas. Entonces ahora el Final Four es otra temporada nueva y yo trato de poner todo lo que pasó en el pasado, dejarlo atrás, porque si me quedo pensando en eso, voy a vivir en mi pasado y en el pasado he cometido muchos errores, pero eso no me determina quién yo soy. Uno aprende sus errores y para poder no cometerlos en el futuro.
¿Cuál será la clave para que Auburn sea campeón nacional el próximo lunes?
Nuestra defensa y sin compartimos el balón y obviamente meter canastas.
You think back to you're in junior college, did you ever foresee getting to a stage like this in college basketball?
At all. I actually saw one of my junior college coaches yesterday when I was walking into the hotel, and that was a guy who actually stopped me from leaving JUCO and going back home. That's how bad it was in JUCO, and to tell you to be here right now, I would have told you no way at all. I would have believed that when I was back in JUCO.
So, why were you considering leaving? Would you have been done with basketball together if that would happen?
I don't know. I would have for sure took a break from basketball just to get mentally straight back again. But I wouldn't fully finished up. I probably would have thought about playing overseas or probably playing back home.
What allowed you to power through that and obviously have your career take off the way it has the last couple of years?
Wait, sorry, repeat that one again.
When you were dealing with those doubts and you're not sure what you seemed like you wanted in your basketball career, what and who allowed you to kind of power through that and refocus yourself on college basketball and get to where you are now?
It's two names. It's Cam Parker and Shadell Milligan. Those two guys, literally after a practice, I storm off, just having just a bad week, I think, and I literally just storm off. I look, coaches, I talked with them. I was like, you know what, thank you for everything, but I don't think this is for me. Literally packed up everything. I was about to leave. And as soon as I'm about to walk out with my bags, the two coaches walk in there and he said, nah, you gotta drop them bags. We're gonna have a serious conversation. And we sat in there in my apartment. Not gonna lie, we finished practice around 4. They didn't leave my house until around 9, 10 p.m. Just talking and just having conversation. Everything was about basketball and about me. Just life lessons and stuff like that. And because of them too, I'll say is the reason why I'm here today.
Chad, Brian with Auburn Rivals again. You mentioned your defense and how important it is. I believe Florida hurt y'all in transition a little bit in the first game. Is that something you talked about, and how do you sort of slow that down?
Yeah, we talked about a lot about the transition defense because Florida had pretty good transition offense. They scored the ball quick, but at the same time, I feel like we're prepared enough that if they want to go fast, we can go fast. If we want to go slow, then we can go slow. But at the same time, I feel like we can control the pace of the game, though. whatever's on our favorite that night, whether we go be playing fast or playing slow. I think like we'll have the composure to be able to play however we want to.
Chad, comentabas ahorita precisamente que tú anoche, uno de tus compañeros en los Warriors que fue el que no te dejó renunciar.
Yeah, no, mis managers.
¿Podrías compartirnos esa historia de cómo fueron esos tiempos, por qué querías renunciar al básquetbol y cómo es que regresas a un nivel tan alto?
Antes de llegar al Junior College estaba en San Diego State y me entiendes, ir de División 1 a Junior College, especialmente después de ganar el sexto hombre del año, fue un cambio muy diferente que yo no estaba listo. Y ¿entiendes? Al llegar al JUCO es mundos completamente diferentes. Pero ¿entiendes? En llegar ahí, no sé, cuando llegas ahí te metes en una etapa en tu cabeza que no está en un buen lugar mentalmente, no tener a mi familia cerca, solo quería estar en casa. Pero esos coaches, no solo ellos dos, obviamente fue el equipo entero, pero esos dos principalmente, ellos se mantuvieron en mi oído la temporada entera diciendo que tú no perteneces aquí, mantén tu cabeza abajo, que muy pronto tú vas a salir de aquí. Yo me mantuve escuchándolos y aposté a mí mismo y gracias a Dios estamos aquí hoy en día.
Chad, we've seen you practice, you and everybody in the last couple of years. Like, Bruce trusts you guys enough to where you can speak up during practice, you can call something out if you feel like it's not working, stuff like that. How much of a difference is that as a player when you feel like you have that freedom to be able to speak up, when you feel like you have that extra, level to be able to participate, and it's not just whatever the coaches say goes, that you feel like you can have that sort of dialogue?
I mean, that brings confidence into you because even sometimes in the games I'll call a player too, not just for me, but from other guys I'll see out there. And they sometimes run and do work and seeing that the coach trusts you like that, especially, in these games that every position matters and knowing that he's like, okay, he's in there. He understands that we're in the game and we see something different that they might see from outside the game. And he trusts us pretty well with that. And, that having a coach that will allow you to do something like that, it just makes you want to even play harder and, boost your confidence up.
Chad, apologies if you've been asked this before.
Okay.
So you guys are obviously a very experienced group. Why is that experience and maturity important to performing at the level that you guys want to be performing at?
I mean, it's very important so nobody will get extremely nervous or not the confidence to come into these games. I feel like most of our guys have been playing big time games, whether it's Division I or any other level. I feel like a lot of us have been through a lot of experiences where big moments like this we're ready and prepared for, and I feel like most of us dream about this moment our whole life. So I know, all 4 teams, I know probably every kid and every roster can tell you dreamed about this, their entire life. So I feel like, everybody's gonna be here extra confident, extra motivated, and just trying to take care of their business.
Chad, I just want to ask, how nice is it? What does it mean to you to be able to answer some questions in your native language, something you don't necessarily get a lot of in Auburn, right?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. The whole time I've been here, I kind of feel like a little bit like home. Walking around, just hear people yell stuff in Spanish and stuff like that. It's been pretty nice, and the tacos here are really good.
Chad, you were just saying, big moment. You're doing a lot of media. There's a lot of stuff going on that maybe doesn't surround getting out on the court and shooting. So what are your coaches saying to you guys to help stay focused, getting ready for this game?
I mean, enjoy the moment. Obviously, don't take this for granted because you don't know how many times, you can do this in life. We're lucky to have, this one chance. But at the same time, job ain't finished. And we, as we're all older teams, so we kind of understand that, and we're trying to get our young guys to understand that. I feel like we're doing a pretty good overall job by, enjoying, soaking in the moment, but at the same time, we're here for a business trip.
Do you feel an extra level of emotion for Coach Pearl and wanting to win for him? He's talked about being on the back nine of his career. I know that added pressure isn't necessarily something that you guys think about often, but does that make this a little bit more meaningful to get the job done, Coach?
Yes, he he's been through a lot through a coaching career, and beginning of the year, he told us how special we could really be with this team, and a lot of people didn't believe that, and he stayed in our ears, telling us like, you guys really got this. You just gotta focus, lock in, and we will be able to determine our own future. And having a coach who just brings that confidence in you, like we know, I know you guys got this, and it feels like that at times, and we just want to make sure we get him one, because I feel like we owe it to him by putting this team together the way he did.
Chad, ¿qué hace tan peligroso a la Universidad de Florida ante el punto de vista de ustedes, sobre todo a la ofensiva? Esos muchachos han estado anotando, parecen por momentos imparables. ¿Ustedes qué creen que los hace tan complicados?
Ellos tienen muy buenos guards en su equipo que la tiran y la meten, pero lo que yo digo, lo más importante de ellos son sus grandes. Ellos tienen unos grandes que van y atacan el aro, si es para coger un rebote o atacar para meter el balón. Ellos cogen muchos segundos puntos de rebotes, y creo que eso es que lo hace a ellos tan buenos, porque sus guards pueden tirar cualquier tiro y sin ningún problema, sabiendo que tienen 3 o 4, 7 pies allá abajo cogiendo los rebotes. Así que si nosotros paramos los rebotes de segundo chance, vamos a poder salir por la puerta grande.
Chad, Kristen G, HQ.
Hi, how are you doing? Wow.
I know. You know Morgan's coming down? Anyway.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
You're lying.
I know.
I'm
friends with his aunt.
Yeah,
so.
like, yeah,
So
wow.
we've known each other. Yeah, anyways, sorry
No
how you
way.
come in. But just speak on your road to this moment has been crazy. Just all the jumps you've made, and now you're at Auburn these last 2 years, and Bruce Pearl's been able to get the best basketball out of you. Just what is it about? I mean, sorry if you've already answered this,
You're good.
but just the journey that you've been on, and now you're finally, at the Final Four. A dream I'm sure you've had since you were little.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of stops. But at the same time, I will not give that away at all.
Yeah.
I feel like every stop that I had, it was a lesson to be learned. And I'm kind of glad I went through that, because, it not just brought me, I'm sitting here now today talking to y'all, but it has helped me a lot off the court to mature as a young man, and, being able to help my family and stuff like that. And, coming in here with this coaching staff, they just really took like a father role with me, and really like, cause I got some antics towards me inside the court, as we all know. But they stay with me, and they still believe in me, even though after I mess up or might not do the right choice. They don't turn their back on me, and in this especially at this level, Power 5 basketball or Power 4 basketball, however you want to call it. Everybody's so talented, so good that if you really mess up, it's really next guy online. And having a coaching staff, after multiple times I've messed up, they still have not given up on me. It's like, how can you not play your best basketball for somebody like that? How can you not go out there and say, F it, I'm gonna go out there and give everything, And that's how I feel. I feel like, they've given their all to me. The least I could do is just give my all to them.
Chad, Stephen Pearl said he felt like Florida kind of punked you guys when they came in.
Yes, sir.
Arena. How do you guys, is there a different mentality with this team, and what do you remember about that game?
The one thing that I got in my head is that just like they punked us clearly, and kind of glad it happened, because I feel like the guys now are a little more locked into this game and got a little extra fire in them. So hopefully, we'll come out there and actually put up a fight this time. So at the same time, though, we just got to come out there for real and just stick to the coaches' new game plan that they created for us, and I feel like we'll be able to have a great game.
Chad, I want to ask about Denver. What makes him just so good defensively, just so hard to score on?
I mean, other than that, he stops every matchup that he got. I mean, he comes out there and everybody who is, top scorer or, arguably the best player on the team, he really has shut down throughout the whole year. And that's for him, putting in the work and, taking in the challenge. Okay, I'm about to guard the best man, and, going out there and actually, stopping him. And that itself is just like, dude. And it's not just one guy. He's been doing it the whole year. That's why I say out loud, that's the best two-way guard in the whole country. Because think about it, before he came here, Denver was dropping 20 balls. You feel me? Like, the dude, we know he can score. Everybody was questioning if he could guard. And now, obviously, his production going to go down because, guys, like, we got so many weapons here that we don't know who really going to go off any night. So, I feel like because of that, that dude, because, he can go out there and shoot the ball lights out any day for real. It's just that, he trying to play the right way. Plus, he became our point guard, something that's not really his position. So, got to talk a guy who went from scoring the ball only to, okay, now I'm guarding their best player, to now I'm guarding the point guard. And people don't respect that, dude? Come on now.